I'd like to call to order this special call meeting for Thursday, November the 6th of 2025. I'd like to note that Commissioner Hofstetler is not here, but we are getting Commissioner Schmidt. Oh, okay. We have Commissioner Schmidt on the line and stuff, and with that being said, we do have a quorum today. So, okay. So, Gina, I guess we'll let you get started here, I guess.
I'm actually going to apologize that I even called this meeting, or that I asked two commissioners to call this meeting, because we don't have an agreement.
Okay.
I thought that we would, because there is a construction project pending. A brief summary of the situation is, I sat in on a pre-construction meeting with SC Telecom. Was that Tuesday? And after that agreement, I consulted with each of our department heads, and I said, do you know whether or not a franchise agreement is in place? And so then we started looking back, and Bree did some digging, found some communication from SC Telecom in 2015,
Okay.
in which I have that letter at each of your spaces. It was a very terse letter from SC Telecom's personnel to Dave Howard, at the time refusing a particular agreement over a cell tower. And I did see that there had been some discussion about revising a franchise agreement with SC Telecom in 2020. I would just like to remind the commissioners and the public, since this is recorded, that in 2020, I think that a letter was sent to us in January. In 2020, March of 2020, the world shut down. And then the person who did our franchise agreements was our beloved Diana, you know, because she was on top of all the financial matters. And then she died, she went to the hospital in November, and she died in December. So the subject matter expert on franchise agreements had, you know,
Right.
was no longer with us. And so one of the things that SC Telecom has said through their attorney today is that they, in good faith, tried to revise an agreement in 2020. Well, they might have sent a letter early in 2020 before the world shut down, but they haven't contacted us since about a franchise agreement update. So anyway, I let the guys know. I said, okay, we got to get this franchise agreement updated. The one from 1999 is no longer even statutorily relevant, and so we've got to get it updated. The SC Telecom has been paying us 4 cents per line since 1999. In comparison, AT&T pays $2.25 a line, which is going to be updated. So in 2024, Southwestern Bell paid the city $2,099. This was, 2024, $2,099.25 in franchise fees. Ideatech paid $736.62 in 2025, and their franchise agreement was recently updated.
To 225 or?
Ideatech's is a little bit different of a I don't know what theirs is. Cody has all of the contracts, and Bree has all the contracts. She forwarded to both him and to SC Telecom's personnel. And Cox pays a considerable amount more. They paid, Cox, in 2024, the city received $59,824.19 from Cox Communications in 2024. By comparison, SC Telecom paid the city $61.84 for the entire year. So Cox Communication paid $59,824. SC Telecom paid the city $61.84.
What are their customer numbers?
133.
Both of them, or?
The SC Telecom, I'm sorry, what? 133 for SC Telecom. And Cox Communications, they pay 5% of their gross revenues. So they don't pay based on how many lines they pay based on their gross revenues. And so Cox Communication pays 5%, which is allowable under the statute. The statute allows up to $2.75 franchise fee per line per month, or 5% of their gross receipts. So it's a little bit different, and Cody does want to streamline them. And so he intends to, within the next meeting or two, bring you updated agreements for, updated amounts for AT&T, bring them up to $2.75, because they're currently at $2.25, and then also streamline Cox and Ideatech. I'm disappointed.
Streamline them to
To the same
275?
amount.
Okay.
Yep, per access line, yeah. And so, out of, a favor to SC Telecom, I approached two commissioners, and I asked two commissioners to call this special call meeting so that we could get their franchise agreement up to date and statutorily correct before their construction, because they can't start construction until we have an accurate, appropriate franchise agreement in place. And so Cody drafted it the way that he was going to draft the AT&T one, $2.75, and they pushed back and said no, despite the fact that for 26 years they've been giving us 4 cents per customer per line per month. They insisted on being, treated consistently with AT&T, even though they've not treated us consistently as AT&T has. So at this point, the only thing I can do, since we know that we're going to update AT&T's franchise fee, is recommend that we postpone any agreements with SC Telecom until we get AT&T's at the $2.75, and then we will re-engage SC Telecom and have their agreement be consistent at $2.75. I don't see another way around this impasse. It's like being in Congress right now, honestly. So that's what I'm submitting to you. So I would recommend adjourning the meeting and tabling the agreement until such time as AT&T is brought up to speed. In the meantime, sadly, what that means is that the SC Telecom construction project gets put on hold until then. I tried in good faith to get it so that they could go ahead and
Sure.
begin construction when they planned, but without an agreement, I don't see how that's possible.
Is there an allowance for me to address you as well? I'm SC Telecom CEO who had been attempting to negotiate also in good faith.
I see why not. Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So,
One thing, just to make sure that we can hear you on our, Mike, do we need to have her up near the podium, I'm assuming?
We could give her one of these as well.
Yeah, sorry, we just need to make sure.
that's okay. I appreciate that opportunity.
Do you want to approach, sure, podium or sit?
Whatever's.
Okay, this is already prepared and ready to go.
Okay. Okay, so we're good?
It's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want to make sure we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so I agree 100% with the timeline that has been proposed, or that has been presented to you. I want to give you a little bit of my perspective and let you know how I addressed Regina, Ms. Goff, yesterday, in fact, regarding all of these things. Yes, we met right here Monday in a pre-construction meeting, and immediately following that, our contractor was contacted regarding our franchise agreement, not me, and I did not honestly know that we weren't up to speed. I take that responsibility 100%. The last I knew was in 2020, my accounting manager reached out via letter asking for, an agreement with the city, either an updated or an extension or whatever. And at that time, it was under my purview, of course. Then I was the CEO. In 2015, I wasn't even an employee of SC Telecom, so I cannot speak to that. At any rate, in the 2020 conversation or correspondence that, as far as I'm aware, was presented, was proposing a 2.5% access or per gross receipts. So similar to the Cox situation, but we are only required by statute to present a fee with regards to the telephone, the access line portion of that. And to be fair, from the Cox Communications remittance over the years, theirs is of gross receipts, not only of telephone services, but also of their cable TV services. So it's not, I just want to be clear on that point. And in no way, shape, or form has SE Telecom, and especially me, intended to slight the city. In fact, we have been trying to make, an inroads with all opportunities within the city of Pratt. We do have, we do have some residential customers, and over the years, in the last 5 years, that's averaged 18, less than 20 residential telephone customers. The majority of our business has been on Main Street with business customers and an HPBX or a hosted telephone system. So yes, as of November 1st, we have 103 access lines, which would be subject to the statutory, remittance of said franchise fee. When this project started, this is actually the third project this year that we were proposing in the city of Pratt or within the city region. We just completed some construction in the country club area and also in the Lake Bend area. And I apologize, I'm not familiar with the specific city boundaries, whether or not those were within the city limits or not. That's on me as well. Yes, our attorney advised us to seek a fee that was consistent with all other franchised entities within the city. I understand this $225 versus $275. In our case, this would be $50. Regina pointed that out as well. We're willing to do what we need to do to get a franchise agreement within the bounds of the law. And with regards to terse language or how it's been approached in the past, all I can do is apologize for those before me. And if I have offended in any way, apologize for my actions, reactions, or otherwise. I understand that Ms. Shumway was asked to be present here, and I overheard as I was coming in that she was supposed to leave at 4 o'clock today. So I apologize for bringing that into it. But I also want to reference, I was here in the office on August 28th, and I spoke with Ms. Shumway about this project, and was not specific to say we need to update our franchise agreement. I just said I need to understand what needs to happen. This is a very huge project that we are proposing. And at that point, she left her desk and came back with business cards and said, Public Works would need to review maps, project lines, and that kind of stuff. And we moved ahead. And at that time, I mean, as a memory boost to the conversation, Shumway was my uncle's wife's maiden name, so I had a conversation about that at that time with her. Anyway, so nothing at all was intended to be, skating around a franchise agreement at that time, and I mean, I'm embarrassed to say that I haven't looked at the supporting documents regarding the checks that have been written to the city for those franchise agreements that have been collected from those telephone customers. So I don't know, I just want to represent from SE Telecom's perspective that we are in no way, shape, or form trying to be adverse to any any collaboration or communication. In fact, our response was, we'll pay $225, and at such time the AT&T comes to $275, we're right there. And it was just more of a precedent instead of, hanging on. I mean, again, from our attorney's perspective, the statute is the statute. And while it's allowed up to that point, that's the argument from our attorney's perspective, to be putting words into her mouth. So with that, I would love to continue this conversation, and I'm sorry that we didn't have an agreement to bring to you at this point, but would be willing, to do what we need to do, again, for the benefit of those residents that we've told were coming, and, and we have a contractor that has partially mobilized his crews. no less than 2 crews, and, you know, their living expenses and all that would be contributing also to the city of Pratt during this time that they were under construction. And just for reference as well, this was not just for we're a one and done type situation. It was our intent to continue to gather interest through the rest of the city and see which area would be next as far as a fiber in the ground overbuilding. So I do appreciate your time, and again, I apologize for making you stay late tonight, and would like to continue the conversation if we're allowed to.
I spoke to Cody this morning about this, and he was incredulous. He's like, $50 a month, and I told them we are updating AT&T. So Cody was just flabbergasted that we were honestly having an argument, substantial compliance under the law, and we're talking about $50. And that by the time any of the franchise agreements go into place, if we do AT&Ts at the next commission meeting, that's in a week and a half, they would both be paying the same amount at the same time. So the digging in at the heels of the other attorney, Cody is one of the finest attorneys. I mean, you guys know he's an excellent attorney. He would never suggest something that was illegal or improper under the law. And instead of engaging in conversation, it was, this is what we'll do. We will only be treated like AT&T, nothing else, no more, we're done. And it's all right. Then there's nothing else to discuss.
So, just so I'm clear, you in principle agree to eventually pay $275.
Yes, sir.
And so we're only talking about a couple weeks here, and you would incur more lawyer fees, and we would too.
Well, sir, I agree with that. The statute or the ordinance that's in place right now allows or calls for a 90-day notice period with AT&T. So it would be 90 days. And to be quite honest, our project wouldn't be complete until February anyway. So it was more of the statutorial situation, and I'm willing to accept a $2.75 per line franchise fee. That was not, I mean, I guess the point was, yes, we want to be absolutely within the law, and we also want to be treated the same way they are. Bygones be bygones, and if there's anything we need to do, I don't know how we go back and have those conversations. I mean, like I said, I pulled numbers, 18 residential lines, 100 total today. What we need to do to make that right. It's no longer about being right, it's about doing what's right for all parties.
Okay. So since 1999, you haven't had 100 customers
No.
but let's say half that. You've paid a small piece.
Correct.
So we're quibbling about $50 in the course of a month or so.
Even if it's 90 days, $150.
Okay.
And Cody gets paid more than that for an hour.
Right.
Yeah, and the argument, I don't believe even was an argument. It was a statement from the attorney that came back that I was copied on that said, statutorily, yes, we'll take the $2.25. Or we were, first of all, she was making sure that there hadn't been a change because we had received all the ordinances before. And did we miss something somewhere that was $2.25 to $2.75? Whether that was the language that was presented, it was not. So we said, in fact, we'll pay the $2.75 when AT&T pays the $2.75. And I understand how that was taken, and now it, and then it was become a quibble. And from my perspective, it was not an argument from our perspective. It was let's clarify what we're doing, how we're getting there, and with, yes, a look back to the 4 cents per line, putting it all in perspective, 18 residential customers to a total of 100 today, and most of them are on Main Street business, so it was a totally different calculation.
Well, I'm kind of a common sense guy. I think we're quibbling about something very minor.
Yeah.
And I just don't see what, you philosophically or you don't think legally you can pay $275
No,
at
sir.
this point in time?
No,
Or-
sir, the advice and the attorney's question at the time was the statutorial requirements of, you know, the competitive neutrality, if you will.
Right.
So if it was $275 for AT&T, we'll pay $275. And like I said, for a couple of reasons. One, the latest ordinance that we had seen that AT&T was paying $2.25. Also that it had a 90-day, you know, notice period and so on and so forth. So yes, it was $50 in simple math terms, more of a clarification from what are we getting in the ordinance and what are we seeing from that perspective. I'm willing to sign an agreement that says $275 today. As you say, AT&T is also going to be brought up to that. And I'm not gonna tell you how to do your business, but we just noted in the ordinance that there is a 90-day notice period, so.
So if you agree to the 275, then you're okay with that, as long as we say like, hey, we're gonna raise which again, and Gina, you're thinking Cody will bring that up pretty soon.
Yeah, and Cody told the other attorney that
Yeah.
is on, that is the next order of business, because he realized that
Yeah.
AT&T is at 225 instead of 275. So his intention,
Yeah.
you know, and is to bring it up
Right.
as soon as possible. And as far as the neutrality, it is frustrating from Cody's perspective, from my perspective, from the staff's perspective. Where was the neutrality for 26 years? I mean, SC Telecom has received the benefit in every way financially from not updating this agreement.
And
So statutorily, we have to wait 90 days?
No, I don't know if there's language in the AT&T franchise contract.
So how long,
if that's what she's
how long
referencing.
has AT&T been paying $225, since '24, or only in '24? They've been paying that for quite a while, right?
I think since 2009.
2009.
So I'm confused on the 90 days. So do we need to delay construction 90 days?
No,
Till this
no, s-
goes into effect?
It was noted in the franchise, that the ordinance that was sent to us, that was AT&T's or Southwestern Bell's, that there is a 90-day notice to AT&T from the city required to raise their rate. And so the question was, has it been, you know, have they already been notified? And it was 90 days from the end of the year.
So if we're gonna raise AT&T's next month,
As
we
soon as
would,
we
they
can.
wouldn't
Or
go
2
into,
weeks.
it
Right.
wouldn't go into effect for 90 days.
If that's what I don't have the AT&T contract in front of me.
Okay.
I have Ideatech and I have Cox.
If we raise AT&T's, we would say, okay, from 90 days, so let's say in the next meeting, we say, okay, we're raising AT&T's to 275. 90 days from that point.
It would go into effect.
Correct, Gina?
So there's a couple of things. Even if that is what even if the contract requires a 90-day notice, you know, we are still talking about substantial compliance under the law, and the city of Pratt in good faith is attempting to treat everybody
Yeah.
equally. And to say, well, if they're a day before us, we're not gonna pay this $50 a month. I'm a lawyer. I would argue this in court, you know, that we are in substantial compliance of the law, acting in good faith, trying to do this correctly. But if we have 4 different agreements and we're dealing with 4 different companies, who comes first? And is everybody going to argue that they're not going to be a day before the other person? I mean, there has to be cooperation among contracting parties and a certain level of good faith acted out.
Gotcha. So I'm just kind of curious here. This letter that was given to us 10 years ago, do we know what came out of that? Was it just,
Well, I can tell you what didn't come out of that was an updated franchise agreement.
Okay.
You just showed that to me yesterday.
I put copies of both
Okay.
there.
As I said, I'm assuming, how long have you been CEO of ST Telecom?
For 7 years.
7 years, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a cell tower agreement.
Right, and we do have a cell tower agreement, but obviously it did not increase. I mean, there was no additional action based on that letter. And Dave Howard left the city employment soon after that as well.
Okay, so it possibly could, I mean, but, and then, of course, there was no, and again, I know it was COVID, you know, Diana passing away and everything. Did we ever find a letter from ST Telecom for that, or?
Yeah, there was communication. I verified that.
Gotcha, but
yeah,
it just
through
wasn't,
Lou.
but it just wasn't presented to it wasn't.
Commission. I don't know what the final action was on it, but remember, we were meeting by Zoom, you know, and we were acting on a skeleton crew.
Right.
For many months, and then when we lost Diana, all communication would have
Yes.
ceased about that.
So what's the solution here? You want to have construction next week. We want to have 275 per line, an agreement. You have the wheels in motion. I guess we have the ability to say, no, you can't do that. And I'm assuming this project is tens of thousands of dollars,
$1 million.
a million. I think we're quibbling about a minor, I guess I don't understand why you wouldn't go ahead and say, yes, we'll accept the 275 a month today, and everything can roll, and it's going to cost you $50 more for the next couple months, and we're not violating any statute, we're not violating any law. We don't want to do that.
No, but Cody would not have recommended that. You know, I mean, you have
Right.
two lawyers telling
Yeah.
you that this is a matter of weeks, or and we are in the process of attempting to bring
we'll do
everybody,
that.
you know, treated equally. We aren't trying to cheat SC Telecom.
No,
And nor are we trying to cheat the city either.
Right.
I mean, I think that's really
Yeah.
why I'm here.
yeah,
There has been no intent whatsoever to slight the city at all.
I mean, is there any way and Gina, do you think Cody's gonna bring this up at the next meeting?
I'm sure that he will discuss anything you know that you want him to discuss.
I guess.
I can get, he had a meeting with
Yeah.
his child's school.
Yeah.
But he said that I could call him
Yeah.
if we need him on the phone.
Okay, well, I guess if it would make SC Telecom happy, and again, I'm just one person up here, you know, all four of these other commissioners have a voice here. If we say, hey, you know, if you sign this agreement 275 and we say in good faith, we will make sure AT&T's to 275 within 30 days. I'm just making up a number there. Would that suffice you guys?
That's fine. And I think that is a more than an olive branch from all perspectives, I believe. Again, I did not ever personally intend for it to get to this point.
Right.
I truly appreciate your time and calling this
No.
meeting today. When I left the office yesterday, I said, you know, I'm getting all the copies, and
Yeah.
we understand what it's going to be based on what you already have in place. And at that point, we thought we were going to have a meeting on Friday, and so
Yeah.
everything is, I mean, from our perspective, we are ready to do what we need to do to
Put
not
the
only
cap-
play nice,
Yes.
but truly, you know, have a good relationship with the
Right.
city of Pratt so that we can have mutually beneficial relationship going forward.
What was your proposal again?
I said in good faith, like if we say, would you agree to the 275 right now? If in good faith we say, hey, in 30 days.
That we will have passed
Within-
an updated ordinance within 30 days.
Yeah, an update ordinance within 30 days for AT&T and, you know.
Right.
Would you guys be okay with that if we
Yes.
agreed to that?
Yes.
Okay. Doug, are you okay with that?
Well, I think it satisfies, we want the 275 per line. You want to build your project. We're gonna increase AT&T's anyway.
Yes.
We're quibbling about a teeny tiny, we're not even quibbling,
I agree.
Yeah, but I think we can
See you
find the common ground. I think
Yes.
we can compromise on this. So, Jeanette, are you okay with that? Gina,
So,
are you okay?
Cody
I-
would,
I wish that we had, Cody drafted this.
Yeah.
And Cody put in an email today.
Yeah.
We will be increasing AT&T's.
So,
Okay.
but I think in good faith, if we say to you guys in 30 days, we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will also make the statement as well from the position that I'm in to stay on top of the franchise agreement. Also within the language that was proposed was a 5-year term with a renewal, you know, every 5 years, not to exceed a 20-year period.
Yeah.
That will far extend beyond my employment with SC Telecom, I hope. Not to give anything
no.
away. I'm not going away anytime soon, but I don't plan on being here for another 20 years. However, you know, we don't want this to be another topic of even of contention in 5 years.
Right.
That's
Right. And I think, you know, it was you know, again, I don't like to bring up, you know, with COVID and everything that happened at the
Yeah.
city side, you know, I think there was just mass miscommunication. But again, like I said, it was a hectic year for our side.
yeah.
Well,
And-
for the world.
Yeah, for the world, and for the
Yes.
world too, yes.
So-
And then losing
Yeah,
Diana.
and losing Diana, yes.
So can this contract, we don't even have an ordinance number. but
It would
we
just
can
be-
We can approve that now, and both parties can sign that now.
Yeah, the ordinance number will be the next consecutive number, you know, the
Okay.
appropriate
Which-
ordinance number to be attached.
Which is what, do we know?
So we get the and you get to proceed with construction. We would
Yes.
not hinder their
Correct.
procedure, plans, whatever. Okay.
I'm just asking Bree if she knows, because Bree had an activity with one of her kids. She had to leave early.
And then Gina, do you want me, if, it sounds like we're gonna approve of this, do you want me to put in the motion anything about the good faith with AT&T at all, or do we just not need to worry about that?
I don't think it has to be in the motion, but it can be in the motion, that we agree to take steps towards treating all the franchise
As equals? Oh, okay,
as required by statute.
okay. Gary, I know Gary, did you hear everything that we discussed?
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Let's get it done.
Okay, perfect. All right, and we're just waiting on what ordinance number we need to do, but
Okay.
it sounds like we have an agreement.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time again.
Yes.
Thank you very much for
Now-
coming in yet another day.
Yes. Yes.
Carla, so do you want to sign this?
Yes. Do you want her
It's
to?
an ordinance.
Yes. Does she,
Well,
does she
she
need to
just-
sign anything?
It doesn't look like there's a signature line for Carla. No, I don't see one.
Well,
It says accepted by South
Oh,
Central.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it was a contract that is adopted in the
Okay. So I guess, do I have the official, does it matter? Do I have the official copy?
I don't think yours is color.
Okay,
I have a color.
okay.
Bree isn't here, is she?
No, she's getting, but Gina's texting her the
Oh.
ordinance number, so we,
So Bree, I wanna make sure.
Okay, I'll sign in blue.
Yeah, so, Bree puts the city seal on it, you know, so you can sign it, you can sign it, but Bree will seal it.
okay. Perfectly fine by me. Jeanette, can I borrow your pen so then I can write down the ordinance number on my sheet? Because I did not bring a pen.
Teacher.
Yeah, teachers don't bring pens. We just,
Today is
6. You know, I wish I have my, does anyone have a copy from Monday's meeting? Because then that's all the ordinances.
Well, this is,
That's what I was thinking, what is the agenda say? Who has?
I don't have an agenda on, not unless Bree has it in my,
There was an agenda right here.
here,
What's
here,
the last ordinance number?
20,
Did we do an ordinance or just resolutions? Oh,
we
look,
did resolutions.
no, but these are ordinances,
okay,
so it would be 2518.
2518. Okay.
But I do think that you need
I
to
thought
make
they
a
had the-
motion and a second.
No, I will.
Is it the ordinance number is the date or the resolution is a date?
The resolutions are dates.
Date, okay.
Ordinances are the year, and then how many
It
ordinances?
should be the one after that.
Yeah,
then.
it's 2518. Right, correct, Gina?
Because we passed all of the ordinances, the updated.
Right, and the last one was 17? Yeah,
Okay.
should be.
All right, with that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2518, granting to South Central Wireless a contract franchise to provide telecommunications, local exchange service within the city of Pratt, that their franchise fee will be $2.75 on the agreement that within 30 days, the city of Pratt will raise the franchise fees equally amongst all competitors, pursuant to statute. Thank you.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve ordinance number 2518. Any other discussions?
Now, you go by South Central Wireless, Inc., it's not SC Telecom?
Yeah, the legal entity is South Central Wireless Inc.,
Okay.
DBA, SC Telecom. All of our entities
Okay.
are DBA, SC.
Okay, okay, perfect.
All right. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
It is passed. With that being said, I will sign that. So, whenever I find it, here, there it is. Wait, that's my copy. I don't want to sign that one.
Are we done with this topic?
Yes,
Regina?
we
Take a
are.
motion to,
Yes. Do you want
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
second? It's all right. It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn for today. Any other discussions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye.